We are in the classification of animals, and when we started with the classification of the kingdom Animalia, just think it is a vast group of organisms or animals. So you have to get each and every term very clearly into your mind so that you will know what are chordates, what are coelomic or coelom, all the terms you should know. So now protochordates we have completed. Now we will start with chordata. Now chordata, if you go to page number 74, chordata is there. You have coelom, absence. Coelom, what is the meaning of coelom? Coelom is nothing but the body cavity. Presence of true coelom, that is belonging to Eucoelomata. If it has false coelom, it is pseudocoelomata. Now next we are going to divide the group of animal on the basis of notochord and vertebral column. Now vertebral column means we all human or mammals have vertebral column. Our back, we have this column there, that is called as vertebral column. So the presence of vertebral column. Now we will see on page number 65 the group chordata. Chordata is divided into subdivision: Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. So these are the three subphyla or subphylum of chordata. In that, very important group is of Vertebrata. Which group? Vertebrata. We all mammals belong to the group of Vertebrata. So what are the characters of this Vertebrata? This Vertebrata has or have vertebral column. Which column? Vertebral column. I told you, the vertebral column at the back, that is dorsal side, we have the vertebral column. So this presence of vertebral column makes it into the group of Vertebrata. Again, what are the next? Internal skeleton. Just when I say Vertebrata, you just imagine or assume yourself. Your skeleton is inside, isn't it? You have your bony structure which is there inside. That's internal skeleton we have. And again, they are bilaterally symmetrical. Bilaterally symmetrical means two sides there is equal distribution. That is bilaterally symmetrical. Next, triploblastic. How many layers? Triplo means 3 layers. Then coelomic. Coelomic means they have the true body cavity and segmented. Then there is another one important character in Vertebrata is differentiation of body tissue. Our body, that means when we start from cell we have basic unit cell. From cell we have tissue. From tissue we have organ. From organ we have organ system. From simple we started cell and we reached to the system. So here we have all these divisions of organs and all in which group? Vertebrata. Now there are some important qualities or characters of chordates. Page number 65. All chordates possess, they have a notochord. Notochord I told, it's a long rod-like structure or string-like structure. Cord means string. Have dorsal nerve cord, are triploblastic, have paired gill pouches. When you hear the term gill, in which animal? Fishes. Gill pouches. Coelomate, have caudal tail fin. This is about chordates. Next, in that chordates, we are going to group it into vertebrates. So chordata is divided into Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Now Vertebrata we are going to do in detail. This Vertebrata includes what in that? Vertebrates. Now we will see the group of vertebrates. These vertebrates are divided into 5 Fourth is birds, or it is also called as aves. Fifth one is mammals. So page 65, the 5 classes of vertebrates. Once again, Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, aves or birds. The last one, mammals. So clear classification is there on page number 66. The classification of vertebrates. Vertebrates means presence of which column? Vertebral column. Now Pisces. In each group you remember the example. Pisces, fish. Second one, amphibians, frog. Reptiles, you can remember so many animals like crocodile, snakes. They belong to reptiles. In aves, remember birds. In mammals, it's a large group, mammals. We human beings are also there in mammals. So that's a larger group. These 5 groups of vertebrates. Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, aves and mammals. So now we have to study in detail the single, we should start with Pisces. So Pisces, now remember, all this class, that is Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, these 3 are cold-blooded animals. Now we will see what is cold-blooded. Remember, how many classes are there in vertebrates? 5. Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, and we have another 2, apes and mammals. Don't bring that. Pisces, amphibians, reptiles. These 3 are cold-blooded animals. Now why we are calling them as cold-blooded animals? They are cold-blooded animals because their temperature, their body temperature changes according to the surrounding. Like if the frog is in a hot climate, their body temperature will become hot. If they are in the water, it turns into cool. So that means their body temperature changes according to the surroundings. But we human, do we change our body temperature according to surroundings? That means if freezing temperature we turn into ice? No. That means we are able to maintain our body temperature constant. So we are called as which blooded? We are called opposite of cold, warm. So we are warm-blooded animals. What are these warm-blooded? They can maintain their body temperatures constant. Example of warm-blooded animals, last 2. What are the last 2? Aves and mammals. So did you understand what are cold-blooded animals? What are warm-blooded animals with the example? Then you have to go to page number 66 and just look into the characters of the group of fish. Which blooded animals? Fishes are cold-blooded animals. Now we read characters. They have fins. Just imagine, just assume one fish. You have all seen fish. You know fish meat. That is very nutritious meat. Nutritious in vitamins. So this fish you have all seen, it has fin. Again, it uses gills. These are the characteristics of which group? Pisces. And remember its heart has only how many chambers? 2 chambers. Fishes have how many chambered heart? 2 chambered. Next we will go to the next one, amphibians. Amphibians, you know their example is frog. So in this frog, just think, the young ones live in the water. The adults live on land. And they are called amphibians because they can live both on land and water. And their poikilothermic means they cannot maintain their body temperature constant. They are warm-blooded. And the heart is how many chambered? Not 2. Add 1. 3-chambered heart. So our frog's heart is how many chambered? 3-chambered. And this frog follows one adaptation. That is during the very hot summer. What do? They estivate. Estivate means they go deep down into the soil under the ground and they stay there because outside it's very hot. Estivation. And during winter seasons also because outside is very cool. But that winter sleep is called as hibernation, and summer sleep is called as estivation. Everyone loves to sleep, isn't it? Nowadays everyone is sleeping. Frogs also sleep for long hours. And why? The reason why they undergo this sleep is because of the extreme climate. It may be hot or it may be very cool. So how many chambered heart? Frog, 3 chambered. Next come to reptiles. They are also which blooded animals? Cold blooded animals. And they have incompletely divided 4 chambered heart. Remember, incompletely. We human beings have 4 chambered. Mammals 4 chambered. But these reptiles have incompletely divided. Incompletely, see? First one, when we did fish, how many chambers fishes have? 2. Amphibians, 3. When we go to reptiles, they have incompletely divided 4 chambers. That means it is not clear 4, like we say 3.5, like that. Incompletely divided 4 chambered heart. Example for reptiles, crocodile. Then we have birds. You know, you have seen birds. Just imagine a pigeon. What does that pigeon have externally? Feathers. How many wings they have? 2. And they are which blooded animals? Warm blooded animals. And their heart is how many chambered? Is it 2? 3? 3.5? No, it's 4. 4 chambered heart. Apes or birds. Then the last one is which group? Mammals. Mammals is further divided into some groups. What are those groups? Just see. Here mammals do not lay eggs, remember. You know what are they called as, isn't it? Viviparous or oviparous? Those who lay eggs we call them as oviparous. Viviparous means they give birth to young ones. So now here one more property we have: outer ear, arms and legs. So in this there is different group: marsupials, primates, rodents. Rodents means rat. Marine mammals. Marine mammals means those fishes, dolphins. See, dolphins doesn't come under the group of Pisces. They are also mammals. Remember, they are called as marine mammals. Again, we have flying mammals also. Bat. You may think bat is bird. No, bat belongs to which group? Mammals. So it's a very complicated group of mammals. So marsupials means, what is marsupials? They can carry their young ones. You have seen kangaroo. They carry their young one in a pouch, isn't it? Kangaroo, you have seen one pouch. Which continent, you know which country kangaroo is there? Australia. Then primates. Primates means our monkey and even man. We belong to the primates because we have little more well-developed brain. Rodents. Rodents are rat. They can gnaw the food. Marine mammals, example dolphin. Flying mammals, bat. So this is the classification of vertebrates. Go through it. And I just wanted to ask you one question. Because we have finished classification, there are different lab activities to be done. Lab activities means you have to see the sample. Now, you all know the name of this vegetable, isn't it? When I said this vegetable, people in Maharashtra will say batata. People in Tamil Nadu or Kerala will say urlakalanga. Those who know English, what will they say? Potato. So this potato name differs from place to place. So now it creates confusion, chaos. So we have to get a common name for it. Common name we said potato. Then we have to go for the other name, scientific name of this potato, so that it will be easy for us, for different people to study. So what is that naming, how this naming is done, we will do in the next class. Thank you.